Hi, welcome back to my channel. So glad you decided to tune in again and listen to what I have to say. But, well, first of all, Happy New Year. I won't see you again until after the New Year, so I want to wish you a Happy New Year. I hope it's a successful and prosperous New Year for you. Please like and subscribe if you have not done so. It helps out the channel a lot. And also, I would suggest using the closed caption feature on your device. Throat cancer is left me with a voice that can be difficult to understand, so hopefully that'll help get my message across. Today I'd like to talk about the warrior Renaissance man. Okay, so regardless of the era, a Renaissance man has always been considered a dangerous man, if you will. A man with an edge, a man that needed to be taken seriously. So during the Renaissance period in Europe, a Renaissance man was expected to be good at wrestling and swordplay. All right, so if we change that terminology a little bit and make it more up to date, we might say that a Renaissance man needs to be good at empty hand fighting or fighting with weapons, if necessary. So, historically, a Renaissance man was considered to be, again, a man to be taken seriously because he could defend himself or others. Okay. So, that means you must train. You must train. So important. Because in a pinch, you're always going to revert back to your training. If you have no training, you're going to be in serious trouble if you're in a situation where you're defending yourself without a weapon or with a weapon. So, you need to spend time training. You need to spend hours, days, weeks, months, years training in both empty hand self-defense and self-defense with a bladed tool or a tool that goes bang. Because you never know what situation you might be in. You need to be ready for any situation that you might come across. Now hopefully that never happens, but we can't say that, right? We don't really know. Today's world is violent. It is, and even innocent people are targeted every day. So, something we have to be aware of. Okay, so again, the training is what's so important. So, there's always someone bigger and stronger than you are. I don't care who you are watching, I don't care what shape you're in, there's someone out there that's bigger and stronger than you are. And you may have to try to defend yourself against someone like that. And remember the famous line from Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. All right. It's all, again, comes down to your training. Okay, so for empty hand training without a weapon, it might be boxing, it might be karate, it might be taekwondo, it might be jiu-jitsu, whatever it is, you'll need to find an art that fits you, your personality, and you'll know that as you practice, you'll know what you like and what you don't like. So you need to find that art, and you need to train. Again, training is what's important. You'll always revert back to your training when the heat is on. All right. Now for weapons, I would suggest training with both bladed weapons and weapons that go bang. Again, you don't know what situation you might find yourself in, so you need to be ready for any possible situation. So we have to think through that, and that requires training in all those areas. So the best way, absolute best way for you to train for you to obtain those skills is to find a mentor, a teacher, a sensei, and train with that person. All right, that's absolutely the best way. You're getting that knowledge passed down from someone who's got more knowledge and more experience than you, and they're teaching you what they know, so that, again, in a situation where you have to defend yourself, you'll have the skills, you'll have the training, you'll know what to do, even against someone bigger and stronger than you are. All right? Always someone bigger and stronger than you are, yeah? So that's absolutely the best way, and you need to go out of your way to try to find that person, or that school, that dojo, right? You need to try to find that. Now, if it's not possible, if you just can't afford it, or if you're in a location where there's nothing around you that you think is beneficial, then you can use books and videos. All right, so there are many good books out there. I've written a few, and videos, good and bad. But in a pinch, if you absolutely cannot find a school or a dojo to train in, then this is better than nothing. So you can research using books on the subject, or watching videos on the subject, and train that way. Again, nowhere near as good as training with someone, but if you have no other choice, that is better than nothing. Better than nothing. All right. So now, if you take your training seriously, and you must do that, after a while, you'll find many benefits from this training. By the way, again, since you're going to train in both empty hand and with tools, so tools, bladed tools, you can find that in many martial arts schools. As far as tools that go bang, then that's just time at the range. You need to find time at the range, and find someone at the range, at the club, at the gun club, where they're knowledgeable on weapons, and they can help you identify the weapon, break the weapon down, clean the weapon, and use the weapon in different situations. And then the training will make you better at using those tools. Anyway, get that training, you take it seriously, you'll find that you're building confidence. You'll have confidence in your ability. It's really important. It's important in many ways. Many benefits. Physically, certainly beneficial. Again, psychologically, you'll be more confident in your abilities. And that, I've been in situations where I'm not a big guy. 5'6", 180 pounds before the cancer, 150 pounds now. Not a big man. But I've been in situations where someone is trying to intimidate me. They're bigger and taller than I am, and they think they can intimidate me with their body language or their voice, and I'm not intimidated. I have complete confidence in my skills. And that will confuse people, and you can see it in their eyes. If they're not too drunk, they'll wonder why you're not intimidated. And that little thought creeps in. Maybe you have a tool on you. Maybe you know something they don't know. Maybe you're a lawyer, I don't know, but there's something. And that'll bother them. And a lot of times, that'll diffuse the situation just because you don't act intimidating. So, Renaissance man is not one that shies away from these things, not a coward. You're not a bully, but you're not a coward. And so, sometimes you have to stand up for yourself, or for your loved ones. And having this confidence, having that training will allow you to do that. So please, by all means, you need to be a man who's taken seriously, a dangerous man, a man with an edge. If you ever have to, you'll be able to defend yourself and those you love. So that's part of your responsibility as a Renaissance man. All right, I'm going to leave it there for now. I got more things to say, of course, about this subject, so there'll be a part 2, and hopefully you'll tune in. In the meantime, please, again, like and subscribe. The channel's growing. I love it, getting the information out to more people. Certainly what I want. That's why I do this, yeah. If you want to support the channel, I have a couple books that are currently on the market. They're both in the science fantasy genre, something I enjoy reading and writing. So the first book is The Eyes of the Wizard King. It's available on Amazon. The newest book is part 2, Eyes of the Wizard King, A Balance in All Things. This is book 2. The third book in the trilogy has rough drafts is done, I'm happy to say. We're going through edits now, so I expect to have that published sometime later this year. So then the trilogy will be available. The second book is also available on Audible, so please, by all means, go on Amazon, order the book, help support the channel, and if you would, leave a nice review for me, helps promote the book. So that's all I have for today, and again, thank you so much for tuning in, and God bless.